Howdy. How you doing? You know, I like my job. I really do. And it's always interesting, and I can have fun at work. But sometimes I do wonder what some of the people in upper management are thinking. And before I go any further, let me preface this with my opinions and my views in no way, shape, or form reflect the views and opinions and official stance of my company. That way, if I happen to mention it, which I try not to, but if I happen to mention it, I got that out there. Because what I say is not what their official stance is. So I've got to do that anytime I put anything on social media that has anything to do with work. Anyway, I've been at my job with this particular company for a year and 9 months or so. It'd be almost 2 years in July. So I'm 2 months away, so a year and 10 months. And in that time, I have seen quite a few people promoted, which is fine. You know, we have in the stores, you got your store manager, and then you got your mid-level managers, the crew leads or shift leads. And so people need to be promoted or need to be brought in at certain levels so we can cover what we need. Anyway, since I've been at this job, I've watched people getting promoted. Now, I came in as mid-level management. I came in as a crew lead, as a crew chief. And I had mentioned a couple of times that I wouldn't mind trying to get promoted higher up to like a station manager or assistant manager. Well, so far I have watched a person come in as a shift lead, get promoted to an assistant manager, and now get promoted to a manager, all within 6 months. I have watched a cashier get promoted to a shift lead, and now they're talking about promoting this person to a assistant manager. And she's been there about 8 or 9 months, if that. I've watched assistant manager get promoted to a station manager, and this person got hired in about a month or so after I did. So, I mean, pretty close to the same time working there. And I've also watched another one who was started out as a co-manager get promoted to a station manager. And this person had been there about a year and a half. So this person got hired in about 3 months after, or 4 months after I did. Well, I've also watched a number of cashiers get promoted up to shift manager, or crew chief. And I had mentioned about possibly going higher. So I don't know if it's me that they don't know if I'm qualified or prepared, even though I do have a master's degree. And with a master's degree, I can work pretty much any position in the company as long as I'm qualified in other ways. To be a regional manager requires a bachelor's degree or higher. So I could be a regional dude. Anyway, I've watched all these people getting promoted, and a few of them getting promoted past me with much less experience. And I watched some of these people just implode as soon as they got up a little higher and got a little more pressure on, a little more stress, and just lose it. Some of them have become really not the greatest managers. Others couldn't handle the stress. And I've been there the whole time, trying to do my job, trying to do it the best I can. When something comes up that I hadn't heard about or didn't know about, try to learn about it so I can do it. And except for a couple of things that has to do with like scheduling and doing payroll for the store. I pretty much know everything that a station manager knows about running a store. And sometimes I can't understand how they make the decisions, what the thought process is that goes into these decisions. Because I've had at least 3 people who were at my level are with far less experience than me in this business, in this particular company, get promoted past me. Excuse me. Including one that, the one that had been there like 6 months, and within 6 months or so, 9 months or so, is now there's a possibility that she may be promoted to co-manager. I'm wondering, because every one of them that's got promoted past me like that has been female in our region, in our area. And sometimes, and I mean, I'm not saying it is, and there may be other factors involved that I don't know about, but sometimes I wonder if maybe gender is starting to play a part in this, because they have all been females, and obviously I'm male. But sometimes I just wonder what they look at when they do this promotion. Is it just that they happen to be like, oh, I'm here, that person is technically qualified, so let's go see if that person wants it? Or if they actually sit down and discuss, like, okay, who's the most qualified? Who has got the best chance of actually moving up to this level and handling it without imploding or freaking out or destroying the particular store they're at, losing all the help and whatever. If it's just, hey, that person at that time, I think they might want to rethink some of their decision making on this, because it hasn't been working out so good for them, at least in this area. If they actually sit down and think about qualifications, I wonder what the criteria is that they're using, because again, there's been some incidents where people have just, well, we had one crew chief, who couldn't handle the stress of that position, and she quit after about 3 months in that position. We just recently had a station manager who, because of some situations at our particular store, just got asked for an official, what they call a demotion. So she got moved back down to just a regular cashier instead of a station manager, because the stress just was getting to her. And there was also some medical situations going on with that. So I can kind of understand her decision to step down. We had another one who, again, for medical situation, decided to step down. But it was brought to my attention that this person would probably never be moved back up in the company again, because she wasn't doing the job as a station manager the way they wanted it. I'm not trying to say that this person was a bad station manager or anything like that. It's just how they thought it should go and the way it was actually going weren't matching up. So I'd been informed that this person probably won't be moving any higher in the company than the position she stepped down to. We just had another one who was a crew chief, crew shift lead, who just got demoted recently, because when this person got in this position of management and power, where they had control and had power over others, kind of went a little overboard with it. So, and this person was still in training, and they were telling cashiers that the cashier had to do exactly what this person said and not what other more seasoned, trained crew leads said to do. And while in that particular crew lead happened to be me. She had only been promoted to this position for about a month and a half, maybe, give or take a couple weeks. And yes, kitty. I mentioned my kitties before. Peaches, the wife's cat. Of course, I'm here trying to do something, and she decided to come visit me. Yes, kitty. What? Yeah, just get comfortable there. Well, at least you'll slow down some of my hand gestures, won't you? Yeah, unless I throw you off my lap. I wouldn't do that. I love kitties. I love kitties. Kitties hate me. No. As you can see, Peaches likes me. Anyway, back to what I was saying. So, this person is still in training, and we actually, within this time frame that she got moved up to a shift lead, crew lead position, we had to hire like 3 other new people to come in and replace and to fill out our staff so that we're at full staffing. Well, one of them happened to be had used to be involved with the shift lead. So as he is going through training, he's not getting much training because she was the one that was supposed to be training him in the cashier job. And on one particular day, before I had left, and the next day was my day off, I said, well, tomorrow we have to get somebody in the cooler to stock it because it really needs stocked really bad. So this person is to be in that cooler, and I want that person in the cooler for at least 4 hours. The other person, the new one that was supposed to be training, he needs to be on register, and I want him, besides maybe going out and having a cigarette, or if he needs to go to the restroom, he needs to be on register his whole shift because he needs to learn it. He's going to be on his own within a couple of days, and I think he'd spent like 4 hours trying to learn register. So he needs to be on it the whole time today and tomorrow. Next day, this shift lead in training comes in, says, no, he's not going to run register. You get up here and run register so I can go do this real quick. And the person that was supposed to be in the cooler spent his entire shift running register. When I come back and I heard it, and I'm like, I told you that you needed to be in, well, she did it. I was like, I told her that you needed to be in register or be in the cooler. Well, so I think the station manager and the station manager's boss realized that what they did probably wasn't the best idea, so she got moved back down to her standard cashier's position. So hopefully we won't have this situation of I said something and I'm a shift lead and I have been for over a year and a half, almost 2 years. You're still in training. You're not a shift lead yet until you officially complete training. So you're not going to countermand or try to override what I said. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, I'm sorry. I just wanted to rant a little bit, get a little bit of this off my chest, because I sometimes wonder what they're thinking when they do some of these things. And when somebody who I think would be completely qualified, I've got a master's degree, I've been there for almost 2 years as a crew chief, mid-level management in the station. I know, except for a couple things, I know pretty much how the whole thing runs. Yet they're promoting people past me who haven't been there for near long enough, and offering them positions higher than mine. So, anyway, tell me what you think, and have a good day, and I'll talk to you later.